Welcome back to Broke Till Friday podcast featuring two cats, not just one, like last week. We got Misha. Yeah. Then we got Roxas. Roxas, come over here. See you standing up.
Show that pink.
Roxas. If you're on YouTube, give us a like. If you guys subscribe within the next 15 minutes of seeing this video, I will randomly sign my name on a card and mail it out to you. So after you subscribe, I'm going to contact you, ask for your date of birth, ask for your... No, I don't need to ask for your social security. That was already leaked. Ask for your address, everything else. And I'll send you a personally signed 4x6, or is it 5x4? 4x5 piece of paper that just says D's nuts. And that's only if you subscribe in the next 15 minutes. So, yeah. What do you think? Are we in World War III?
I'd like to say we are, but it's just that, like I said, everyone's too, like it's such a
It's such a buzzword.
It's such a word where it's like, oh, we're not World War III. There's no Holocaust happening. There's no big things happening like we were taught in history. So, but I think if you just really were to actually pay attention and realize, like, maybe it is happening already, and we're just too. There's a word I can't think of it. What's the word?
Man.
It's like you're like distracted, but like, fuck, I can't remember the fucking word.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're too distracted with basically things that are happening in America, like entertainment, movies, and TikTok and other bullshit.
The circuses.
That
bread
shit.
and circuses.
That you see the things happening with China invading Asian countries, and then you see the war with Palestine and Israel and Ukraine invading Russia, that you just think of that as like, oh, that's okay. That's not a thing. But if you really, like, think about it, isn't it kind of like World War III has already begun, because it's like all those different countries are fighting each other across the world, you know?
Well, major Western powers have warned Iran not to attack Israel amid concern they could be drawn into a wider war in the Middle East that pits them against Russia and China. So that's the thing. Like, I feel like without the superpowers in it, they're not considering it a world war, because right now it's like you said, right? It's these individual conflicts, whether it's China and Taiwan or Israel, Palestine, or but they're all kind of Ukraine, Russia, right? They're all concentrated within themselves. They haven't spread out to a worldwide conflict, which is what a world war would be. But if Iran attacks Israel, then suddenly China has to keep backing Iran like they have. And then what if North Korea gets pulled into
Russia
the mix?
starts,
and then, well, Russia's already fucking spent most of what they have on the Ukraine thing, right? But then same thing. What if the U.S. has to send American troops into there, and then if they act, then China has to act, and then all these other
then
geopolitical
would you say
things.
Then is World War III begun?
I mean, officially, it's like,
because I don't think they'll say like World War III has begun, on the news or anything. I think it'll just be like war has started.
The war broke out. See, I don't know. World War I and World War II were such intense scale. Like, there's this joke where a time traveler goes back in time, and they're like, "Oh, we just won the war." And it's like, "Oh, World War I or World War II?" And they're like, "World War II," because back then they just called it the Great War, because that was like they thought the biggest, the biggest thing possible.
Because, do you think that modern World War III would have the same feel as like the previous wars? Like what I like for instance, I would think that what we would see, instead of like how war would start where it was like Pearl Harbor happening, we would probably see something like a cyber attack from a different random country, kind of like the movie that everyone watched, not Civil
Titanic?
War, not Civil War, the one before that.
The one where the Russians drop in on us, supposedly.
Yeah. Something like that is what I figure what World War III would look like. Instead of it being like, oh,
Red Dawn. There we go.
Instead of, oh, this country got nuked. Oh, now this other country's nuked another one. I think World War III is going to look very different from all the other previous wars. So that's why I figured maybe it started, or it's commencing to start, and we just are just too. I think it's demonetized. I think that's the. No, not demonetized. What's the word? Can't think of the fucking word.
Just gotta hit your brain a couple times before you can.
It works, dude. Hit your brain a couple times.
So Red Dawn was Yeah, no, it was just Russians supposedly invading the U.S. because they're like paratroopers and stuff. But that doesn't make any sense because, to be honest, it's like, wh- why would they paratroop when there's nukes? You know. So, oh, and that's the other thing. World War II ended with a nuke, so it's like World War III because of mutually assured destruction. Like, would someone set off a nuke? Would they even consider it a world war? Would Russia go, okay, fine then? If you're gonna lose, if we're gonna lose, then everyone else is gonna lose too. You know? Because if they were to launch like ICBMs and things
But
like that,
I think countries are also not that stupid where they're like, let's just all nuke each other. Let's just all have a piss match. You know, I
Yeah.
think they are aware that if they were all to do that to each other, it would end bad for everybody. In reality, you know.
yeah,
That's why I don't think they'll straight up just go all nukes in on everything. I think we'll see the war happen in a very different way. I for one think it would be like cyber attack, something like that, something similar to that. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe like trying to set up different in like small wars happening in other countries and then them winning those
proxy wars.
proxy wars and then like
Mm.
setting up different kinds of governments in that area and then slowly taking over something like that. I don't know. I can't say
It's
for
funny.
sure, but I think it will look differently, and I think because it looks differently, that we're not going to be aware that it's happening until it's like, oh, it's happened already, or it's
Yeah.
happening.
Unless war were declared. I don't know. I still feel like you would need one of the huge super, like the one of the world's leading superpowers. Because yeah, Russia's technically a superpower.
First, you
But
need
they're
Homelander to, you know,
Drag his nuts out.
drag
And
that's
then,
out. Yeah.
no, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's like you would need like Russia or Russia, China or the U.S. or like a big superpower like with the UN and stuff like that to declare war and then drag other countries in it. Because as it is, it's pretty much just proxy wars right now. It's just like, you know, Iran and its regional proxies are kind of fighting and stuff, but it's not technically Iran against Israel just yet.
Well, how did World War II start? Right? Wasn't it just small wars within Europe?
It was
No big
it's-
superpower countries. It's not like America just started everything, you know, and straight up just started it. They came
So-
in later.
So it began when Germany invaded Poland. So when that happened, Great Britain and France responded by declaring war on Germany. So USSR and Germany began in 1941, and there was a German invasion of the Soviet Union. So I mean, yeah, it's basically that's crazy. That's so fucking funny that he's like, I'm gonna invade Russia. Yeah, when Hitler invaded Poland, that's basically the beginning of World War II because that dragged other countries, France and Britain, the superpowers at the time, into the World War. So
So all
yeah.
that's missing is like for, but
The-
is it?
the-
But hasn't U.S. sent in troops to support?
no, there's no overseas troops right now directly supporting any of those wars because remember they pulled out the troops in the Middle East. They've been sending aid to Ukraine in the form of like military aid and stuff like that, but I know there are troops stationed places, but I don't know if there's any that are like active combatants, you know? Let me see. So, oh yeah, only 2 nuclear weapons ever used in war ended World War II, but it began. Oh, okay, yeah. So nearly all of the world's countries, including all of the great powers, participated, with many investing all available economic, industrial, and scientific capabilities in pursuit of total war. So right now, we're not in a war economy. I feel like that would have to be another catalyst where it's like people are getting drafted and things like that, you know? Oh, we forgot about Walter. Poor Walter. Where's Walter?
Can we pause it? And then just cut.
We'll be right back after these messages. And
It's
we're back with
Walter.
Walter. World War II. We had to bring in a military expert into this. So, Walter, World War III. Are we in it or not? Do the individual wars that are happening right now, do they count as World War III?
So China invading parts of Asia,
Mm-hmm.
Palestine and Israel, and Ukraine invading Russia.
Well, China hasn't started yet. Taking over Taiwan, so maybe it's a threat, but I don't know. Like it's all every war trickles into a bigger thing, right? Like, just alliances start to get like pulled into it. Like, that meme with Mixed Meeseeks, like, oh, I'm only here because because he made me come here. You know what I mean? So that's, and usually it takes like 5-10 years for an actual war to actually, like a big war like that to actually kick off. So maybe, but America taught them in World War II that like you don't fuck with America, dude. You don't. They like
That's true.
you don't. I think that's the number one thing that will prevent a big war from happening. Just like as soon as America comes in, we're just gonna clean house. Like literally, like
Walter, you know this, right? The biggest military in the world, the biggest navy in the world is the U.S. Navy. The second biggest navy in the world is the U.S. Army,
wow.
which is fucking crazy. The second biggest navy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Big
my
in-
taxpayer
big in,
dollars.
like big in like they have people.
As
Like
in
number of aircraft carriers.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So I think we have 12.
But Japan has
aircraft
Godzilla,
carriers,
dude.
and then-
Oh, Godzilla. They have Godzilla. We have nukes. No, we have a Hulk.
Well, Japan and Germany will be on our side this time. if anything would
That's
happen.
true. History will not repeat itself.
No.
But so Michael's other claim was that we're closer to war now than we were during the Cold War, which I'm like, no, because
Search
the
that
Cold
up.
War.
Search that up. That's where I didn't come up with that. I read that.
He came
somewhere.
up with that.
Well,
Biden said it himself, dude.
Let's find out.
I would say communication wasn't as good as it was. Like it wasn't
Sure.
as good now, like as it was back in the day. Because back in the day, there was miscommunication, and that led to a lot of like false, like oh shit alerts, like that. Literally, a false thing could have ended the world.
Yeah,
Like, it's happened a few
remember
times.
the fucking? It was a Russian guy who got on a thing that said the nukes were going. He was like, no, we can't launch our nukes back. And then it turns out it was
Yeah.
faulty, and it was like, holy shit.
Mhm.
We were like, that close. We were a
Yep.
fucking button
Yeah, I
press
just
away.
watched that.
That's crazy.
That happened actually like twice, but yeah, like, but now it's more like we know, even normal civilians know what's happening, like
Yeah.
live stream in fucking Israel or what's in fucking Ukraine or whatever, So we're
Yeah.
not as misinformed as we were, but just tensions are high. Like, are we closer? We're probably evenly matched, actually, for that time. We're probably evenly. If you look at like the Doomsday Clock, it's probably like around the same amount of time that it was
Yeah, the
back in
Doomsday
day,
Clock.
too.
Look that up. That's all right.
Whoa, Doomsday Clock. I love it. That's one of Alan Moore's best Watchmen runs.
90 seconds to midnight, dude.
Still 90 seconds to midnight. What does that even mean? What does that mean? What does that mean, Walter?
It means that like we're incredibly close to the end of the world. That's what that means.
So once the clock hits midnight.
Yeah.
So the bulletin has reset the minute hand on the Doomsday Clock 25 times since its debut in 1947. Most recently in 2023 when we moved it from 100 seconds to midnight to 90 seconds to midnight. So, oh wow, in 2012 that was the farthest we've been, 5 minutes to midnight. 2015, 3 minutes to midnight. 2017, 2.5 minutes to midnight. 2018, 2 minutes. 2020, 100 seconds, and then 2023, 90 seconds to midnight.
Mm-hmm. I think it's such a bullshit metric though. Like, come on, man. Like,
It is like if you're only ever using 5 minutes, come on.
yeah, that's crazy.
It's clockflation.
Like nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Basically, mean nothing was happening, even though there's still like all this bullshit. I don't
Yeah.
know. You
So-
guys saw fucking Trump was on Theo Vaughn's show podcast.
You're lying. What the fuck?
It dropped 3 hours ago.
Bruh. No shit. There it is 3 hours ago. Oh my god, Theo Vaughn, you crazy son of a bitch.
I like Theo Von.
That's crazy, dude.
Everybody loves Theo Vaughn.
I don't know about everybody loves Theo Vaughn, dude. He said some pretty dumb stuff, but
What did he say?
But like, you're not supposed to take him seriously. He's fucking just some redneck dude.
like,
from
okay,
Louisiana,
so that's the thing. I understand that, but the problem with that is when you have 1 million people watching some guy go, yeah, vaccines don't really work, and then he goes, well, I guess you're right in that sense or whatever, you know. And then it's like, whoa, but then you're
He's
like,
not fact checking shit.
yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. Theo.
He was on Theo's podcast before Rogan. That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
this is so much to unpack. It's only an hour long, I guess, but fuck. Now I have to watch it. See? That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Just do like the highlights.
I know. Oh my god, he's actually in the fucking. No, that's not the White House.
He's there, yeah.
No, no, that's-
some fancy looking Mar-a-Lago looking.
He's trying to make it look like the White House. That's so funny, dude. Oh my god! And then he asked him about like, "Hey, how's your?" Dude, he's wearing a blazer and like a t-shirt.
I gotta see
Like
this.
he's wearing what he would normally wear, but just a blazer on top of it. That's pretty funny. Yeah, but again, the problem with that is just aligning himself with the with right wing adjacent people. But also, I mean, yeah, he had Bernie Sanders on and whatnot, you know, because maybe he does want to know more. But I don't know. He's a hard person to read because there are so many moments where Theo Von just says like the dumbest thing ever, and then he'll say something like, "Yeah, man, like cocaine will make you feel like a night owl or like a barn owl or something," just where you're like, "What?" Nobody would have thought to say those words in that particular way, but it makes perfect sense, you know.
Right.
But going back to World War III real quick, so there's apparently there's a Chinese plan to reunify Taiwan by 2030. Reunify in this sense is take them by force. That's crazy.
Yeah, but they have America and fucking South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, Guam, Saipan. They have all they have all these fucking countries that will, and like just islands and territories that will literally prevent that from happening.
Yeah. And most experts do not believe we're closer to a full-scale World War III than during the Cold War, because the Cold War was a prolonged period of ideological and military tension between the U.S. and the USSR without direct large-scale combat. Today's conflicts are more localized and, while significant, do not involve the same level of global superpower confrontation. That's what we're saying. It's like it's all
Right.
localized stuff. And the Cold War was characterized by the constant threat of nuclear annihilation, which continues to be a significant factor today, but it's not a direct global standoff, you know?
Okay, well, two things, right? Like, look, recently in the last month or so, like, Russia had a nuclear submarine off the coast of Florida by Cuba. And we saw that and we're just like, it's fine. It's a training exercise. Back in the day, they fucking started tripping out.
No, dude, they get
Like
within
it-
like 100 miles of Cuba, and then they would start tripping
Right.
out. The whole...
No, they do because, and then it's fine because it's just a training exercise. We go into their waters all the time. They go into ours. Like, that's just how it is nowadays.
Yeah.
But back in the day, when they did that, it was just like, holy shit. Like, let's fucking start ringing the alarms.
And back in the day, there was that whole McCarthyism, remember? Where they'd... Oh, this guy's a communist. Fucking throw him in jail. There are people right
Yeah,
now that are
that's
full-blown
honest.
like, I'm a fucking communist down with the U.S. And it's like, that's your First Amendment right there. You know?
Yeah. See, we're not as, like, you know, what is that word? Like,
Paranoid.
We're not as, like, I don't know. Back in the day, it used to be really, like, tense for that kind of thing. Now it's
Paranoid.
like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Paranoid.
Kind of. Not paranoid.
Alert.
but Yeah, kind of.
No, because it's not really alert. Because alert makes it feel like there is a constant danger, right? But paranoid is like there's a constant danger. Like your neighbor
On
could be
edge.
one. Yeah, your neighbor could be a communist and they will
Right.
eat your babies.
Right. Yeah, right now I could go tell my leadership, hey, I'm a communist, and they're not going to throw me in jail, nigga. Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, oh, he's stupid.
Walter's. You don't hear from Walter.
Back in the day, they would do
Yeah.
that shit.
Go try it. Try it.
They would have shot you in the back of the head in a ditch and been like, it was a suicide. But yeah,
Nah,
that's crazy. So, yeah, some people are saying it's a second Cold War, but it's not. It's still nowhere near like the amount of tension, like you said. Because yeah, there's training exercises here, there's training exercises there, and it's not gonna.
But you know what?
It's
We
not-
actually had boots on the ground in Vietnam. Like, we actually were there. We're not. We're sending money and like weapons and vehicles and shit to Ukraine and to Israel and
That
You know,
yeah, that
all
was the
these
other thing I was
places,
telling
but it's
Michael. It's like we don't have a physical presence because it's like ever since we pulled out of the Middle East, that like That's pretty much it. Like we have troops
we're
stationed,
technically
right?
still there.
No, I get
We're
yeah. Like
technically
we
still
have
there.
people stationed there, but not like we're sending troops into active combat like the war in Afghanistan or things like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, the closest we got to World War III was a Cuban Missile Crisis. So that's crazy. That is actually crazy. But yeah, I gotta watch that Theo Von one. That's interesting. Interesting.
Kinda, because it's just gonna be like dumb shit for like an hour.
And it's gonna be just like the same repetitive answers we've already seen. You know, I don't think we're gonna discover suddenly discover anything new from Trump during this one. But the problem, I mean,
Right.
I guess
It's
the
just
problem
still
is
funny.
yeah, the problem is it's free publicity, and then Theo Von's not gonna push back. Like, oh, and that's kind of tying to what I was saying earlier. He doesn't push back when he hears like these kinds of false claims. You get me? Which I'm like, yeah, I get it. He's an
Right.
entertainer. I don't know if it's his job as a journalist or whatever to go, oh, these are the facts and whatnot, because maybe he doesn't know the facts.
Like, look, like Don Lemon was doing that like last week, and like
Yep.
all they were doing was shitting on Don Lemon, dude.
Yep. But now, like, now actually shifting to that. Now Kamala is going, yeah, I'll debate you on the place we already agreed to debate. We're not going to debate in a place with like just your fans and Fox News anchors that you guys pick out and give you softball questions. Like, it's going to be like
Right.
the Smiling Friends episode. Like, why are you so terrible? You have 1 second to answer. Hello. Wrong. Also, we hate you. Like, that's literally how it would have been. My God.
That's good.
Time's up. Also, you're wrong.
Yeah. President, was it President Jimbo?
You have unlimited time to answer.
And also, we love you. And they're just smiling. And then, did I tell you? There's a conspiracy theory going
Did
around.
you eat the fucking sticker, Walter?
He eats stickers all the time, dude. You can eat them. They're edible.
The two things about Walter: I don't like change, and I eat the stickers.
He would exclusively eat stickers if he could. I deliberately...
Yeah, what were you about to say?
Huh?
What were you about to say?
That you deliberately eat stickers?
That the only
Before
reason you
that,
eat fruit
fuck.
is because you want to eat stickers, but you need an excuse to eat stickers, so you eat fruit.
Yeah.
You were just about to say something else.
I already forgot, dude. Boom, it's gone.
my
Oh, there's a conspiracy theory going around that presidential candidate Squiggly Miggly was killed because they said he shot himself with a 3D printed shotgun. That's suspicious. Somebody's got to look into that. 3D printed shotgun. Those are ghost guns right there, dude. That's how the deep
my
state
God.
gets you. And then when he's like, we're controlled by worms. The lady's just fucking screaming. But in conclusion, Walter loves to eat stickers and crayons, as he is a person of the army. Person of the army. That's it. Just your gender is shoot them. So.
Yeah.
So
What are we talking about?
World War III.
When you jerk off on your bed, do you just like aim to the wall, or do you aim at a
I go
napkin?
get on my hands like it's like the glue, the Elmer's glue, and then I just rub it on the fucking bed and I go to bed.
I believe it, dude.
No, I don't
believe
do
it.
This guy
That's
plays
terrible.
Aquaman with his cum, dude. Jesus.
My webbed hands and I'm like I'm a duck, and then I'll be right there.
Dude, I had a dream. Dude, I had a dream that I was talking to Roman.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What happened to TV?
Oh, I don't know. It timed out. We can't hear Walter anymore.
Can you hear us?
No, it's
Oh, I
fine.
can't-
you.
can't hear you.
fucking Walter. Nah, it's not you.
Hold on.
It's me.
You can't hear me?
Technical difficulties. Just slap the shit out of it, and then, you know. When in doubt, hit that shit.
Pull that cock out. That's what.
There we go. Back. He's back and meaner than ever.
Okay, so I had a dream that little black boys, little girls. I had a dream that I was talking to Roman, and all of a sudden we get into the topic of Donald Trump. And I'm like, dude, Donald Trump's fucking an idiot, dude, and anyone who supports him is fucking dumb. And he gets so triggered, and we just start going off. I just start going off. I'm like, this is why he's not good. And he's like, no, but he's done this. He's done none of that. He's done none of that. That's a bunch of bullshit. It's like, and then I search him. I give him like a link and like a .gov fucking website. It's like, look, this is not true. This is not true. And he's like, that's some bullshit. And then we just start fighting. And then we start fighting. For some reason, where this is all happening in like some fucking like doctor's office or some doctor's office looking building.
A medical.
We're fighting down the hall, and all of a sudden, like we're on the ground, and we're like, I'm like this and shit, and I look up, and it's Kamala Harris. I'm not even joking, dude. And she's like, look who's up there. She's looking at you, dude. And she's like, oh shit. And she's like, what are you guys doing here? It's like, this is not the right place to be doing this kind of thing. We're doing.
Did you guys just fall from the coconut tree?
We're helping the community out here. We're trying to get some votes. We're hosting a community some shit. I forgot what the fuck she said. And then it's that her talking to us gets us to stop fighting. And he's like, this guy believes in Donald Trump. And she's like, he's like, that fucking idiot. She says that fucking idiot. And then we both start laughing. And then Roman gets so fucking mad and he walks away. That's how the dream ends.
Nah, he's wild, bro. He said like he'll like fight Kamala Harris. He'll smack her. I was like, he's crazy, bro. I'm telling you, he's wild, bro.
Oh my god.
I sent him that video, the Joe Biden video or whatever. He's like,
one?
for real, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching. And I'm like, dude, go on. Like,
Which
I was
one?
like, dude, it's good. Like the one, it was like a biopic of his like life or whatever, his career in politics. But it was pretty. It wasn't bio. It was like a documentary thing.
Why does he love Donald
But it
Trump so
wasn't-
much? That's just my biggest question. That's
like Trump wants to
I don't
deport
know,
him, and he
like-
was born here.
You know, it's because I was watching some videos on it about like, some of their talking points, and it was literally the same shit he was saying. Like I was like, nigga, this is crazy. I was like, wow. Like you know, I was like, okay, so you agree with like with them getting rid of the Department of Education? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh my god. And he's like, I was like, why? He's like, oh, because people don't get to choose their school districts. I'm
What?
like, I don't know if that involves that. Like, I don't know if that controls that, dude. I think that's like a state thing.
Stupid.
Like, man, I don't know.
But also,
It's kind of scary.
I think a lot of Mexicans like Trump because it's like, oh, we have more money in our pockets with Donald Trump because of the stimulus and all that. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why they like Donald Trump.
but now his own tax plan is screwing over people because there was cuts initially, but now it's getting raised on like the middle and lower class, while the rich people keep getting tax cuts. Like, if you want to make America great again, you go back to Reagan's time when they had a 90% tax on businesses that were making over a certain threshold. Like, that was fucking awesome. The economy was growing. We were getting infrastructure bills.
Dude, fucking Republicans from like the 80s and 90s are like Democrats, like modern, like the more
Moderate
middle
ones.
Democrats today, dude. Yeah. Like if you look at George Bush's seniors like fucking policies, dude, it's all super like liberal shit from today. Like it's crazy. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
No, I know. But rest in piss, that war criminal, unfortunately.
Donald Trump.
That's so funny. Dude. Oh my god. Remember I told you that comment, right, about Roman? How he was like, he's like, oh, I want to fight. He wants to fight me or something. He's like, next time I see him, beat the shit out
No,
of me.
yeah, you're right.
And
You're right.
And I was like, what? And I don't even know why, but
It probably was because of that. Probably 'cause of that. You're like Obama, and he was like, "What?" And he fucking puts his hands up and shit. Oh my
Obama,
God,
he wasn't
dude.
born here. Oh fuck, dude. I mean, I was gonna say I wonder what an actual debate would be like with him, but I'm like 5 minutes in, he
No,
would he would start
he'll
swinging.
get unhinged. Yeah, he'll just start trying to swing. I'm telling you, brother.
gotta tie him down first and like, okay, we're gonna talk, okay, and then he's gonna be like, let me out the chair. I just want to talk. I just want to talk.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk, guys. I just want to talk. And he's fucking trying to swing.
Oh, you should send him some of the Lincoln Project stuff. The Lincoln Project.
Gabe is also a Trump supporter, right?
Yeah, Loki. When he got shot, Roman made a 3-way call with him and me, and we were just talking about it. And I went up to this homeless. I was driving.
Oh my
And
god.
I showed the camera to some homeless guy. I was like, "Hey, Trump just got shot," And then he's like, "What?" He gave it to my car and shit. And he's just like, "Oh, yeah." I showed him the video.
You showed
like,
a homeless
"Oh
guy
my
a
God."
video on your phone, dude.
Yeah. And then it was just funny. And then I talked to a bunch of white people.
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh, Trump just got shot." And they were like, "Really?" And then they just scattered off to go fucking look at it. And some guy was like, "I was watching it live." I'm like, "Damn." Like, that's crazy.
yeah. No, I mean, I know we already said this, but can you imagine what it would have been like to just see him like get shot in the fucking face, just, and then just everyone being like,
No.
"Ah!" and him slumping over, and
I don't
everyone's
know.
like,
There's some
"What
part
the
of me. There's
fuck?"
some part of me that feels like that was all scripted, dude. I don't know.
Ah.
Like, the
Yeah,
conspiracy
it-
part of me.
Just think about
It's
it.
too fucking like. What? It's too
they're-
goofy.
No.
It's too like.
They're
Look,
so
the guy was a
incompetent.
registered Republican, and he just walked in there with a gun, with a fucking viewfinder, like trying to find the fucking. Come on, brother! Like, it's crazy.
So it turns out that they were the. So I really do think it's just the Secret Service was just so inept because they're the people that Trump chose. He chose like people loyal to him. He didn't choose them because of their skill or whatever, you know. Like sure, some of them might have had military backgrounds and stuff like that, but they're clearly not as prepared, right? And the fact that like even going back to Mike Pence didn't trust the Secret Service to get in a car with him on January 6th. Like he was afraid that Secret Service was going to kill him. That's so fucking crazy to think about because again, they're only loyal to Trump. So going back to him getting shot, right? The cops were begging the Secret Service people for help. Because they're like, yeah, we need to like see like all the angles and all this stuff. Like it's just huge incompetence from their part. Because they're like,
Right.
we're fine. And then that's why you get the one fucking building, that was unsecured. They just, I don't know, they just
So
incompetence.
in the JFK assassination, there was like 20,000 windows that they fucking drove through the path, right? So they didn't check any fucking windows.
Yeah.
This one they had one roof to go look at, to put one guy up there, but one guy on one
It was
roof,
like a
and they would have
shed.
been
It wasn't
fine.
even like a building, dude. It
well,
was
a warehouse, dude.
warehouse shed.
The guy put
And it was the only one.
Yeah, he put the ladder up, and they were like, "Hey, there's a guy climbing up the ladder," and they're like, "All right, we'll go check it out." They told the Secret Service like 30 times, and you can see all the people being like, "Hey, there's someone on the roof. Hey, hey!" And then the shots start going off, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
You saw that video of the guy with the Guy Fieri kind of look on his head?
No.
Look at that one. Look up the guy that was like, "Hey, I told the police." The guy was right there on the roof.
Yeah. Okay, I did see that. I did. And, yeah, he's freaking out.
It was
But
like
yeah,
a Guy Fieri haircut.
because they're, I don't know, it's just incompetence, like straight up just dumb shit behavior, dude. Like it's not a conspiracy because think of it this way, like what are the chances, right, that it's a paid actor, all that stuff. We all want to believe this, but like this man
Black
would
Rock.
have to be the best shot alive to just whiz by his ear or whatever, you know.
Not really,
Dude,
brother.
at
But
the
he
distance-
could've
at
just,
the
like,
distance
done
he
it.
was
He's
at without a scope with the
could've
wind and
He could
everything.
have just done the WWE thing and like a
Was
little,
it iron
razor on
sights?
his
Bro.
on his ear real
Yeah.
quick.
There was no scope, nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Look,
How many feet? It was like 150 yards, right?
It was far. It was pretty far. And to hit
150
his
yards.
head,
We shoot at 300 yards, double that.
but also, but
it's
also,
possible.
you guys are trained for that specifically over and over and over again. But I was
See-
gonna say, his ear is completely fine. So
Mm.
I'm pretty sure maybe he just started bleeding once he took a tumble,
Well,
dude.
it was just because he turned his head, right? Like his little head turned,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Because they're saying like if he was actually shot and bled at that amount, his ear would not have been recovered. Like there was so many people on Reddit being like, "This is my ear. I had a pimple on my ear 2 months ago, and this is a scar it left, and his ear looks miraculously okay." Come on,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
I
he
think
cut
really
his
did-
ear, dude, and he gave the razor to one of the Secret Service, and then he did the pose. That's what he did. He did it. to
No,
him.
we were talking about this too. It's like
Yeah.
one of those WrestleMania things where they get the
Yeah.
blood pack and they go, "Oh,
Yeah.
you know, they do.
Imagine, dude. And the fact that he had this huge bandage for like a week and then nothing. He didn't transition into smaller bandages, just nothing. And then the
Nothing.
clear picture of his ear and it's okay. And everyone's already gone past it because I'm telling you, dude, I was so fucking like, I was like, we're cooked. We're cooked. When he went up and he did the thumb and I was like, that was scarily
Right.
patriotic
Well,
for the right
he
wing
was picking
people.
up a lot of speed at that time. He was the hot ticket.
And then
For
Biden
sure,
was
because
like,
Biden was also shitting the fucking bed too.
and then Biden was like,
Like,
I'm out. Here's your 2 scoops of ice cream, Kamala. And then Kamala came out going, we're against Project 2025. Donald Trump and his dangerous plan, you know, and it's a good thing they're
Right,
bringing
right.
awareness to it because it's fucking crazy,
And
dude.
Trump's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
every election they have a Project 2025. They just haven't got as big as this media coverage has covered this one, but there usually is a plan by
Well-
the conservatives to shape the country, but they never pass as much as they want.
That's because they got cocky this time. That's the thing. They got cocky, and it like apparently when they were workshopping it, it used to have like some other different plan, like patriotic something country plan.
Right.
But then they just changed it
Do you
to
think-
Project 2025.
Do you think that if Trump fails this time, they'll run him again?
Probably. He's
I
not
don't
going to
know.
go away.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because think about every other Republican candidate that has lost. They don't run him again, brother. They don't.
But they love. But
They
no
think
other
about
Republican
millions-
candidate has had
like
the
a-
love and support that Trump gets from his fucking
Yeah,
people.
but each time they run him, it's like $100 million, brother. Like, and now it's about to be $200 million. Like,
mean-
come on, it's almost $250 million.
The first
come on,
time
brother.
when he was like, if I lose in 2020, I'll go away. That clearly didn't happen, you know? So
Well, yeah.
until he like croaks, dude, he's going to do
So-
this forever.
So then it's not gonna be Project 2025. It's gonna be Project 2029. It's gonna keep pushing
Exactly.
it back. So it's just a scare tactic. It really is. It's literally just an agenda
because
that's
that's the
written.
thing. It's not a scare tactic because they're basing it on the judicial decisions of a plan that they already had. Because remember, the Federalist Society is like the first part of Project 2025 because the Federalist Society groomed those judicial people, those judges, into becoming the Supreme Court justices. Like that's an actual deep state conspiracy thing that happened. Like
Right.
this is real. This is 100% real. It's not a conspiracy. Like this is 100% real. And that's the first part of like Project 2025. Because if they didn't overturn Roe v. Wade, if they didn't overturn like all those other things, they wouldn't have the legislative power. And now the fact that they're like presidential
Yeah.
immunity, you know?
I don't know. I think. Well, who's in control of the House and the Senate right now? Do you know? I know they usually flip flops every like fucking electric cycle.
I think Democrats have the Senate right now. Let me see.
Okay.
Um,
Who's the House Majority Leader or Minority Leader?
Majority Leader. Steve Scalise. He is a
Probably Republican.
Republican Party. Yeah, so U.S. House of Representatives. He's the House Majority. Yeah, so Republicans hold the House.
Yeah.
Senate Leader. And then the other one is Charles Schumer is the Majority Leader. And
So
Democratic
he's
Majority in the
Democrat, yeah.
Senate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Shit's fucked because you literally need to win all three things to get anything done. It's so fucking.
But the
everything's so
problem is,
stupid,
dude,
bro.
we had all three things, and they fucking got complacent and dragged their feet in like 2008 and 2012, you know?
The same thing with the Republicans though. They owned during Trump's time all three, and then all they did was fucking pass the fucking tax bills for the fucking rich. That's all they
No,
really did.
but they also rammed through like 3 justices. That's the huge issue.
But that's like a Trump thing. That's not really just the House and the Senate though.
no, but they're getting confirmed by them, you know? Because even with them going, hey, you know how Kavanaugh's basically a rapist, and they're like, it's fine. It was a couple of years, Senator. You know, like that was fucking
Right. Well,
crazy.
I think AOC was leading like the committee on that, right?
I don't know, but
I think it was her that was like questioning this fool. Regardless.
yeah, it's a Kavanaugh. It's a Senate vote. Exactly, it's a Senate vote.
Mhm.
So they 2018, and then they blasted through Amy Coney Barrett, and yeah, it's just it's fucked. But that's what I'm saying. Like they literally said after Roe v. Wade, they were like, we're coming for like gay marriage next, and then we're coming for
Which is wild. Like who gives a
interracial
fuck?
marriage.
Like come on.
dude.
That's just
Like why
wild.
would they repeal Roe v. Wade? Like that's the stupidest thing ever. Especially because it's like, yeah, like, oh, so you're telling me this 5-year-old in Texas deserves to be a mom or whatever? And it's like, oh, but that doesn't happen, dude. There's been like 30,000 occurrences since that.
Mm.
It's like it's
Damn.
it's too many. It's too many. That's
It's fucking
it's too many.
rampant.
Yeah.
Especially in those fucking southern states. Fucking pieces of shit. The ones that actually need that shit. Yeah. Whatever.
I'm looking up. I'm looking up that the holy moly in the 14 U.S. states with total abortion bans have skyrocketed. And let's see. Da, 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 da. So there were. Holy shit! According to FBI statistics, 127,000 assaults were reported to police departments in 2018 alone. But there's underreporting. Only about a third of them are reporting. So that's an estimate of 450,000 in the U.S.
Whoa.
That's almost 500,000. And
Yeah.
more than that, since then, there's been more than that in the 14 U.S. states that implemented total abortion bans, right? So,
Right.
15% of those are where pregnancy occurs. So,
Mhm.
holy shit. Okay, no, that's lifetime.
Yeah.
Never mind. So,
They gotta start castrating these fuckers, dude. That's what they gotta do.
but that's the other issue, because then do you go, oh, now this trans person that's using the bathroom because they have genitals because they got a surgery, oh, but they were born a male, so now they're a rapist, and now they're being assigned as
What?
being a rapist.
No,
they
no.
get,
I mean, like people that are convicted rapists. or,
that's
like,
but that's the
weirdos
problem.
Like that.
Remember that's what happens.
Why?
Because then it's the same thing with like the death penalty, where you're gonna get,
Okay.
oh, now the state said that we can castrate you. Now because we decide who's a rapist. Now I'm going to define rape as a person reading a book to little kids or whatever, you know. And that's what's been happening in Florida, dude. Florida has gotten
Really?
crazy.
I don't think it'd be that severe, brother.
No, but that's what they said about. They said they wouldn't come for fucking Roe v. Wade, and we said nothing because we weren't women. Then they came for the Jewish people, blah blah. Like it's the same thing happening, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
But so if we go 15% of 519,000, let's see. I think that's close to what I read, right? So 519,000, right? And this is just 1 year, mind you. And it was repealed 2 years ago. So I'm going to multiply that by 2 times 0.15. That's way too many. Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
It's 155,700 births. And all of those births are the assault related ones. Plus, on top
Right.
of that, they're most likely in impoverished counties because,
Yeah.
as it is, red states are sucking blue states dry for their tax money and their
Yeah.
public assistance and whatnot. They're ranking 50th in public education. So it's like they just stay dumb and they stay in that cycle, unfortunately. And then I don't know. I saw this documentary on the Appalachians, and it's really sad that like all the kids are just turning to meth pretty much in middle school and high school because there's nothing else to do.
The big M.
The big M, and they graduate to the big M without there's
Without the little M. Without
exactly
H,
the little
without
marijuana,
the little W.
right? and it's like it's so sad because entire communities are falling apart because Republicans basically hedge their bets on doing one singular thing instead of trying to diversify these small towns or trying to invest money into those towns, and now they're just falling apart, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I understand why they then turn and go, hey, I'm gonna go to Trump because Trump is telling me all these things, you know, and they're not educated enough to realize that with his track record that he's a con man, you know. He owes fucking millions of dollars across so many U.S. states in unpaid campaign. And this is just campaign things, you know? Not even including his private businesses and stuff like that. And poor Jimmy
Yeah.
Carter sold off his peanut farm because he didn't want it to be a conflict of interest. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, presidents used to be really good.
Well,
Well,
I know. I go, well, also, like, there are objectively better presidents than others,
other
right?
presidents, Yes.
But to say that,
There's been some shitbags for sure. There's been some shitbags. But
no, 100%. Andrew
on.
Jackson fucking manifest destiny and murdering natives because he's like, he just coughs on them, gives them the
Right,
pox. Dude, the
Well,
Spanish.
then again, every president before that killed natives. He just did it the most.
he just did it the best out of all of them. He got the gold star killing natives, dude.
He made a name for himself.
All the presidents before Lincoln had slaves. Like, come on now.
Let's see. Let's see. Who
Well, at
was
least
the
I want to
best
say at least 10 of them had
president?
slaves.
Objectively. Let's see who was objectively the best president, right?
Who was a good slave owner? Who was
Oh,
good to
George
their
Washington,
slaves?
for sure.
Lincoln has the highest ranking in every survey, along with George Washington, FDR, and Theodore Roosevelt. See, I can understand Teddy Roosevelt,
Of
right?
course, those are S tier presidents. S tier.
Let's do presidential ranking.
No, that'll take too long. There's fucking 40
I
of those
know.
fuckers, dude.
Huh?
There's like 45 of those fuckers.
I was
right?
gonna say
46.
there's
So
probably
it's
less
like,
than that
we're
because if we
not-
count re-elections, right? But
Right.
FDR was great because he managed to get us through World War II, right? Abraham Lincoln, the highest ranking in every survey. George Washington, I guess, just because the first one, right? The first one people usually rank the highest, even if they haven't objectively been better, right?
Mhm.
But controversial ones, blah blah, whatever. So I guess in in office order, no. Where do we look at in ranking? Let's look at their ranking. C-SPAN is C-SPAN. What do you think? C-SPAN, yeah. Abraham Lincoln,
All right.
George
All right.
Washington, FDR,
Um,
Teddy.
Joe Biden above or below 30?
Top 30?
Above or below 30?
I would say above. Also, don't let her chew on that.
So you're saying he's in the top 16 presidents ever?
Well, probably like top 20. Because he's gotten
okay,
us
top,
out of the.
top 20.
He's been working really hard to get us out of the recession. I
I'll
mean, you know.
say top 30.
Yeah.
There's
so many other war criminals, dude.
25. Yeah, 25.
Dude, there's
Top
literally
25.
presidents who fucking died a week into office. Like those are probably like the worst.
Yeah.
The worst ones, just because they
Well,
didn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh!
This
Look at
president
that.
did nothing, yeah.
So, James Buchanan, Andrew Johnson, Franklin Pierce, Donald Trump isn't even the worst one. That's hilarious. William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, Millard Fillmore. Who the fuck is Millard Fillmore, dude? Like, that's how bad. Warren G. Harding, Herbert Hoover, Zachary Taylor, Martin Van Buren, Rutherford B. Hayes, Benjamin Harrison, Nixon. I mean, I feel like Biden's better than Nixon in this one, you know. George W. Bush, they rank him pretty low. That makes sense. Gerald Ford, that spineless man.
The senior or the junior?
George W.
The junior, right?
W, yeah.
W.
Calvin Coolidge, Andrew Jackson, George H.W. Bush. And then you kind of start getting into, like, the better ones, right? Yo, they rank Reagan above Obama? Who the fuck?
Well, if we look at his policies.
Well, okay, I was going to say, because this is it's an amalgamation of a lot of different rankings. You know, I'm not just looking at one person ranking them. So
What's the website? Flatearth.com?
www.flatearth.org, you mean? No, on Wikipedia, they have a whole thing with the historical rankings of presidents. So,
Man, anybody
Ronald
can put some shit on there,
Reagan.
man.
but the top
Reagan.
10 are pretty consistent with them being like
Mhm.
Lincoln, Washington, Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Truman, Thomas Jefferson, Kennedy, Obama, Johnson, and then Reagan, I guess.
Reagan.
But wait, remember. To be fair, Ronald Reagan did have that 90% tax on businesses.
The rich.
See, that's where Reaganomics was supposed to help, because he was taxing companies so much that it was like, yeah, we tax them a bunch, we use their money. It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, we give them tax breaks and then they'll trickle down the rest, you know?
Mhm.
But Reaganomics doesn't, like, either way, if you take Economics 101, you'll see that it doesn't make sense. It's not sustainable. So, but I think once we get to ranking presidents, I think we're pretty much at the end of the podcast. So, any closing thoughts? Any other dreams you guys had that were weird? Anyone else fighting Kamala Harris in their dreams?
Weird dreams.
Any wet dreams
Nope.
recently?
No, I
Michael?
don't think so.
Wet dreams? No.
It was a wet dream. Make one up.
You said what's a wet dream?
No, make up a wet dream.
I think I said it in a podcast before where I told you not Walter, Edward was trying to hit on me being very persistent, like very like, come on, like he's trying to kiss me and shit.
He's trying
Yeah.
to grape you,
He's
dude.
trying to
Yeah.
fuck. He's trying to fuck, and I'm like, Edward, stop.
Stop, silly Billy.
I was like, fuck,
Oh
dude.
god.
And then you came or what? I don't
No, I
understand.
was just like, I felt like harassed. I was like, gosh.
You woke up in
You're
Edward's
like-
bed.
He woke up in Edward's bed. No, dude. And then you wake up and you realize, so that's what women go through every day of their life. And then Edward goes next to you and he's like, exactly. This is just a lesson. We laced you with LSD and actually did that to you, and you thought it was a dream.
Mm.
Oh, man.
Cosby.
Rook to Friday.
Alrighty. We're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. Now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. And now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday.